What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
This video, we're going to talk about a couple lies that the United States pushes into us as Americans growing up. And let's talk about it right now. Let's get to it right now. Lie number one. This one is a funny one to me because in the United States, it's always, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're independent, I don't care where you're at on the political spectrum. You're always going to have a politician telling you that
they hate our freedoms. Our freedom of religion, our freedom of speech, our freedom to vote and assemble and disagree with each other.
That's right. They hate us for our freedoms. Can you believe that? As if nowhere else in the world has any freedoms. Like Europe. You know, in Europe they act like if you come to Europe, there's just no freedoms. What freedoms do I not have here in Europe? You know, as these are Western democracies with Western values and culture that has been exported to the United States. And it's become its own thing. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but freedoms exist here.
Bro, that's like being a child and being told over and over and over again, don't go too far down the street. This is not going to end well for you. To basically paint the picture that way without putting too much emphasis on the detail.
Right, you can't do that over there.
Yeah, you can't. Or not to go outside because the mosquitoes are bad and I don't want you to always get eat up. So let's just stay inside for another 4 weeks. Like, that's weird, bro. It's like brainwashing them, basically.
Yeah, but the people don't know because that's what you're taught as a little child.
But why do they? Well, when you're taught as a little child, okay.
Patriotism. Yeah.
I'm still scratching my head. What freedom do you have in America that I don't have here? Let's talk about freedom of speech, for example. In America, you have freedom of speech. In the UK, for example, you don't have freedom of speech. What you do have is freedom of expression. Slight different tweak, but let's give you an example. In America, you can be as racist as you want to somebody. You can walk up to me, walk up to any black person and say the N-word all day long if you want.
I mean, you can,
but do you want to put yourself in that position?
It ain't really going to end well.
No, it's not. It's not going to end well.
It's not the 60s.
They're going to be looking at you, but what type of mission you just put yourself on? That ain't going to fit well. It ain't going to end well for you. And it's not going to age well either.
No. No, it's not. But I know in Europe, like they protect people. Like you have expression, but he know it better than I do. But
yeah, I mean being out there to compare it to out here. Yeah, facts.
You will cross a fine line of inciting racial hatred. So if you define your freedoms based on your ability to call somebody an N-word or call some Asian American some type of offensive word, by all means, you can have that freedom. I don't need that freedom.
No, or they have it to where if you're in a conversation in public and the person you're conversating with, you're actually explaining something to them that makes them really uncomfortable, they're going to say that you're arguing with them.
You know one that I like? In Germany, they can't deny what happened there. Here, people deny it, and then they even got the nerves to tell us that we benefited from our people being enslaved.
You going down reparations right there?
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go down.
No, that's crazy. That's true. That's facts. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all most people really want. That's a piece of the tip of the iceberg to get the ball rolling because it's an apology, it's accountability.
But you going down it.
Okay, I'm gonna press play. I'm gonna press play now. Yeah, I'm gonna press play. But seriously, they still getting paid for that.
They are. A lady tried to say it on national TV. She was trying to say it in support of black people, but they stopped her and they cut her interview off. It was a Jew who tried to say it.
That conversation alone.
Yeah. Look, y'all know we like to talk about the real stuff around here. But we're going to get back to the video.
But other people in America talk about it like freedom for guns. Ooh, guns. They want to take your guns. Well, let's see. Here in the UK, can you have guns? Yes. Can you have a rifle? Yes. Can you have a handgun? Yes. What does the Second Amendment say in the United States? It's highly regulated. So what is it here in the UK? Guess what? It's highly regulated. There's lots of regulations around what type of gun, where you have to store that gun.
I feel them on that, but with us and exercising our rights, we still get profiled.
What you mean?
Meaning that if you have it, you're going to be looked at as you're up to no good.
Yeah, that's one of the first things they ask.
Like, are you carrying anything? If you have the weapon in it, tell you hand it over.
That's something that I got.
Oh, this is for our safety. I just gotta hold on to it to make sure everything is fine and run back testing this, that, and
Where you have to keep the ammunition, what do you have to do for the maintenance of that gun? Highly regulated. So you still have the freedom to have a gun. So if you define your freedoms as being able to have as many guns as you want in America, okay, fine, no argument. But I think that's a lie that they sell, that nobody here has any guns. Not true. Number 2. Social housing is a bad thing. It's something that you're supposed to segregate from the rest of the population. So, for example, in America, especially in LA where I'm from, or Southern California where I'm from, social housing, Section 8. Well, that's usually in a separate side of the city, not being seen. I don't even know where it's at, because where I grew up was nothing but beautiful homes, single family homes, no social housing. Where here in the UK, just in Europe in general, it's all sprinkled around you. For example,
okay, so I don't know how long ago this video was, but Section 8 housing now, the vouchers, it's everywhere. It's not just in one place. But again, I know about our neck of the woods, Texas, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I don't know about California, but I know, like,
you can have a family in there.
Yeah, anywhere. It's all mixed in now.
The only thing is you can't make a certain amount of money.
That's the thing that I don't agree with.
Yeah,
because
for one, you're living off of a minimum when you live there, because you got to only make enough to live there.
Right.
And then the government assistance that you're trying to apply for is going to probably not be at your favorite. Well, yeah, it depends on it's some paperwork.
You can only make under a certain limit. So if you make $1 more, they're going to cut you off.
Completely
and so
off.
In the end, let's say, like, if you want to be on it just to get on your feet and, you know, get yourself in a better spot financially, it's suppressing how much, like, which jobs you can accept and things like that. So
because you got to report to them.
Right, you have to report. I forgot how long it was, like every 6 months to a year, like, you have to report it. So it's like
you can't really stack.
So it's like you get on government assistance, you're getting help, but it's like a timeline. If you want to get off it, you just got to be able to be, you know, self-sufficient, but then
you can't make a certain amount to be self-sufficient.
Right, and then they have a history of weaponizing it against people, you know, not having a man in the house who you're not married to, you know, things like that.
That's what I mentioned earlier. It's like, it's a lot of paperwork in that. You got to really understand what you're doing with that type of stuff. But I feel like some people just get on because it's available. But then the details behind it's like, okay, when you start to realize how you're supposed to be reporting everything back, it starts to play against you, not for you.
And that's why it has, like, people look down on people who receive it here. But in other countries, the government is there to help you.
Right, he's saying it's everywhere.
Right.
I mean, but then this is a comparison to Cali, so
yeah.
And we're just kind of giving you guys our southern, you know, style of how things go down.
Because you know we utilize what was available to us. You know.
Okay, I live in a beautiful big house, beautiful executive style estate. I have a nice car, but guess what? On this estate and on several new estates, they all have social housing, and they do things that are different in the United States or that they do here in the UK that they wouldn't do or they don't do in the United States. You could be on social housing, but guess what? You can partially own that house. So that way you can be on the track. So you can buy 10% of the home, 20% of the home, 50% of the home, and try to get all the way up to 100% of the home like me or you do. So that's a different strategy that they do, so that social housing is good for everybody because...
Okay, so I do understand that, but again, like, there's things like Habitat for Humanity who helps people buy homes, and you can buy a home with a Section 8 voucher. Now, I don't know the details, Look at your state website if you're in the United States. I don't know the details on that, but yeah, they do have that option available.
Yeah, gotta go digging.
That way the kids get to interact with all people from all social and religious economic backgrounds. And you as an adult get to work and meet and mingle with people from all different backgrounds. I think the neighborhoods are better for it. They're safer for it. Less crime, because guess what? If you're in an executive style estate, well, guess what? You want to keep your home value high. You want to keep it nice and looking new. And that's going to put pressure on the social housing to also keep their house nice, keep the estate looking nice and new and fresh. So I think that's a myth, and I think that's something that should be revisited in the United States. Number 3, in America, they teach you this, that somehow being a hard worker means coming in early, staying late, never taking a vacation, and definitely don't call in sick.
Child,
that is like the biggest mistake you could ever make, faux pas you can make. I'll give you an example. When I was working for a large airframe manufacturer in the United States, I remember a friend of mine, we wanted to take 2 weeks off and go do something. Our managers looked at us like we were crazy because we wanted to have the audacity to take 2 weeks off. And mind you, we didn't take any days off prior to that. We just wanted to take 2 weeks off in a year so we could go do something. They were like, no, rejected, slim that down to a week. And I'm thinking, isn't that my time off to relax, to recharge my battery so I can come back to work? No. Now, I think minds and hearts have changed a little bit in the United States back from when I started working, back in the early 2000s, or mid-2000s, I should say. But that was a faux pas. Well, here in the United Kingdom and here in Europe, for example, it's encouraged to take time off. You get 20, 25 plus days off in mostly all European countries. I think by law in the European Union, you have to have 20 days off. So it's encouraged to take time off because either you use it or you lose it.
Yeah, that's what they tell you. Use it or you lose it. Because after a year pass, it resets all your time and everything that you had. So some people calculate all the way up to a certain time, and then they take this big old jump from work, just have a nice break.
Right.
But then some people be like, they don't use it, and then they lose it. But there's 3 things that I prioritize now because of those type of environments, and that's sleep, family, and my mental space.
Oh, yeah.
Without those 3 things, then I wouldn't be able to function on a job properly. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, people who have family don't even get to see their family like they really want to.
Right.
And when they finally get time to see their family, they're not in the right mental space because they're taking work home with them.
Right.
So there's a lot of things you got to look into. I don't recommend nobody to just say, hey, I'm upping and dipping on my job to it, because you can get fired. We don't want nobody to get fired, but you got to know your environment and who you're talking to when you do these type of moves.
Yeah, but there are jobs now that is, prioritizing those things, giving people extra. So y'all have heard us talk about it plenty times on the channel, where Dion went from not being able to take a single day off for our first son's birth to our third baby. He actually had paternity leave, and we used that to the best of our ability. Okay?
Yeah, facts.
For example, I think Sweden, if I can find the article, it's on the screen now. But if not, Sweden is actually doing a trial where they're reducing the work hours to 6 hours to see if it increases productivity.
Oh, wow.
Because employers are seeing that the employees are more rested and more focused when they come back to work. Number 4. America sells you this, that capitalism and consumerism go hand in glove. It's like this cycle. You have to work to buy, to work again to pay for what you buy, to buy some more stuff, to then work again, and go down this continuous loop of working to live. And in Europe, one of the things that I find, I think is a beauty and a benefit of working and living in Europe is that there's more of a work-life balance. As I just talked about in point number 3, is that you have time off to actually do stuff. And you don't just have this endless working to consume. Don't get me wrong. We go on vacation, so we're consuming what I would call, we are consuming experiences, but we don't live to work, we work to live. And that is a benefit of living in Europe, and I think that is great. And I think the U.S. sells a lie to its people by telling them that you have to work hard to then buy stuff. and never do anything. Number 5.
Or you could just work to invest. I think that helps with work.
Yeah, to try to get out of the rat race.
All right, just put yourself in a better position, because side hustles, as we call it, can be a way that you can take your revenue to another level, but you have to know what you're investing in for it to capitalize,
Yeah, to get out of the...
Just
make
right.
better choices. Just make better choices. Research. Like, listen, we was tired of that life. So we did the work to get where we are.
Realized I was replaceable.
Yep. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's how they feel. You go to this job, you're working so hard, and then you realize if you're sick one day. Remember that time?
What happened?
Remember that time I wanted to call off from my job? This happened to me twice at 2 different jobs. I wanted to call off. I was always the person that they called in on my day off.
That for you. Yeah.
And then
I hated that for you.
The one time I really needed to call off when I was pregnant and I was sick, and they wouldn't let me off.
I remember that.
Whew. Don't miss that.
Wasn't everybody's story on that floor?
Right.
But for some reason, you had to be in.
We ain't gonna get in it.
I'm saying.
Which kind of ties into the first one I said, but it really is on the Republican right side in America. They always preach, especially during the Obamacare era, 2012, was all about these death panels. They literally produced a video where they were throwing grandma off a cliff because of social medicine.
Make no mistake about it. President Obama and the Democrats who supported Obamacare began throwing seniors off the cliff back.
The evils of social medicine, that you were going to have death panels if you got sick. I mean, how ridiculous of a lie that is. I mean, it's a bold-faced lie. I've lived here 11, 12 years. I have yet to ever see a death panel. I have known some older people. I know some younger people. I know myself. You can walk into any hospital in any country in Europe, and there's not a single death penalty. What do you expect them to say? Oh, sorry, you had a heart attack last year, Mr. Carl, but since you had one last year, we're not going to treat you for this heart attack because the panel has refused your care. On a side note, you kind of already have that in America. You just have it through the insurance companies, because guess what they do? Decide not to cover you.
Right.
They say, it's a pre-existing condition. I don't think you can do that anymore. But they'll say that, or they'll find a way to deny coverage. They'll make it so high to cost to do it that you have to do it out of pocket. And guess what? Now you're bankrupt. So that loops right back to number 1. How are you free if you have to live with the pressure of going bankrupt and not being able to pay your bills? Because guess what? You have the audacity to break your hip. Get sick. I don't know.
How I'm gonna present this?
Okay, here we go.
This was when we were making sure that we would be covered for our natural birth.
Okay.
And they wanted us to go all the way across town instead of 10 minutes up the road, 5 to 10 minutes up the road to give birth. How you gonna tell me where I want to give birth at? So if you go here, it'll be $1,000 cheaper.
For what? No, we wasn't even talking about revenue at this time. We're just trying to find a place where we can have our baby at. And they wanted to put us all the way on the other side. Mind you, when the baby is ready to come, the baby ready to come.
So I would have been on the bridge,
I was not about to
traffic.
do that. Nah, the sofa was fine enough for me. I was cool with that part. But on the bridge, in traffic, please, man.
Craziness.
Nah, we denied that in a heartbeat.
Yes, that's the type of things we have to go through.
You pick it. So those are the 5 things that I think that the United States lies or misleads its people on purpose to further whatever big business or whatever political agenda that they have to the people. I'm going to leave you with a bonus one.
Knew it.
Which is kind of strange if you look at it. Because number 6 is this. In America, every day, all students around the nation get up every morning and say the Pledge of Allegiance. You pledge yourself and align yourself to the United States flag. and to the republic for which it stands. Now, that's not something that's common in Europe. In many Western countries, I don't know of any other Western country that makes its kids get up every morning. I do know of one back in 1938, 1942-ish time. Those kids used to get up and actually pledge allegiance to their flag and to their Führer. But I don't know if that's something we should necessarily be doing. Don't get me wrong, I love my country. I'm very patriotic about it. I love the 4th of July for all its... My country is never perfect, but I think it can get better. But that's mine. Hit me in the comments. Tell me what you...
All right, man. Make sure you guys go check his channel out. Yeah, man. That's a GIF.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
But I mean, I ain't got nothing more to say. But yeah, about the flag. That was a culture shock for us. Not realizing other countries didn't do it. And then... y'all showed us, like, y'all related it to, you know, that country, and was like, wow.
When I look at it, like, when I was coming up in school, I had to say an oath to the flag. I pledged my allegiance to the flag.
It's still
Even,
there.
I was happy, too, going to intercom. Oh, me in the intercom, I pledge allegiance. Oh, I'm saying my thing, you feel
crazy.
me?
No,
but
I
when you get...
I went to historically black schools. In elementary, and we were able to say the Negro National Anthem, so I like that one.
Wow.
I like going to the intercom and saying that one.
Okay.
Singing it.
Not bad.
That was cool.
That's tight.
Well, you brought up the fact that you used to go up there. You'd be happy to go up there.
Yeah, I'm a child. Like, I got called on today. It's all about being first. Like, the first line leader. You get to have the teacher with stuff. And, you know what I'm saying? You're young. You go there to do right, not wrong.
All right,
so yeah.
He had some good points.
Very much so good points. You know, I feel like being that we stay here, we see the ins and the outs, the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we can speak on things and, you know what I'm saying, understand it from our perspective. Other people's going to look at it and have their opinion.
Right.
Because especially if they never been here before.
Right.
You know, so it's just...
But we always going to share our experiences.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Again, the United States is not a perfect country.
Yeah.
At all, but... there's a lot that we love about our country, and there's a lot that we wish our country would do better with. We could get into these videos all day and talk about things.
Yeah.
We all know the United States is not a perfect place, but, you know, we're here, so we the good parts of it.
Facts.
Okay?
Yeah, there you go. That's how you look at it. We got the light. We're going to share it.
Yeah,
and there's other locations that is bright as well. So let's keep on pointing out the good stuff.
Good people that, you know, who's of voter age to bring about change in our country.
Yeah.
We're going to get it right
we got big
in our
speeches.
lifetime.
That's how you go. Whatever that is.
I was going to pray for it.
Oh, my. There you go.
You know?
All
so,
right.
we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks. If you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form, it's in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.